Hey guys, welcome to another Coach Judy Mindset edition of Pro Singer Success Collective. I always love to have her in here. In case you don't know who Coach Judy is, she is the expert mindset coach who works one-on-one with the singers in our intensive training program to help them learn how to get out of their own way so that they can bring it when it counts and make decisions that really serve them on the journey of their careers with their singing and their artistry and their creative life. So welcome back.
I'm so excited to be here. You know, I love talking about this stuff. I could do it all day. In fact, I do.
In fact, you do it all day. So I think that something that I want to talk about for our singers today is what are, in your view, based on all the years that you've coached with our singers and in our community, what are the top 3 benefits that you see for singers to be able to work with a one-on-one mindset coach? Like, what are the top 3 things that you think are the most important things that they get out of working one-on-one on what's going on between their ears here as it affects them as singers and the things that they're up to?
Okay, so the first thing is one thing that's just inherently been built into being a coach. If you think about if you've ever been in a sport and you had a coach, what are they for? They're for peak performance for your body. They're going to help you just get in peak performance, be able to get your body to do things beyond what you thought it could do. And a mindset coach is a coach for your brain, for your thought patterns, so that you can get out of your head, build a strong brain muscle to do anything you want limitlessly. And that's why I love it so much, because it impacts not only the thing that you think you're getting coached for. So like in this situation, as a singer, learning how to be able to get out there and sing and just be so confident in what you do, be limitless and go for it, get past all of the little limiting thoughts and things that stop you. And it allows you to move on to that peak performance of who you really want to be, who you really imagine, that big, juicy outcome that you have for yourself, that stage of your dreams. It's getting the steps in place and the mindset that will get you there and allowing you to do that. That's what it's all about. And so being a mindset coach is giving you peak performance in the way you think so that you can always do your best and be so proud of your best, even if sometimes it doesn't net the outcome you want, which is the other really cool part of it. So that's the number one thing. The second thing, in being someone who is helping you get that peak performance, it's also about having someone that can listen to you that has no skin in your game. You know, I'm not your parent, so I don't have any limiting thoughts I want to give you and say, you know, you're never going to make enough money. That's not really a career. You shouldn't be doing that. It's not an advice place. It's not.
Okay, wait. I got to pause you there, because like, how many of you watching can't really talk to your family about what your big vision is for your singing because they are not supportive of it? They, and maybe not because of any other reason than they have their own limiting beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
And so they think it's unrealistic, or they think it's, not the kind of career that, like all the things that Judy was saying. Like, before we move on, I'm just really curious, if you're watching this and you have that situation, will you comment in the chat here or in the comments? Because I think we can support you more on this, right? Because if that's the experience that you're having in your family, like who else is going to mirror back to you what's going on and what you're doing? And so to have a coach who is completely detached from your outcome, like Judy said, who has no skin in your game, is an incredibly powerful position to be in. So, okay, keep going.
And that's one of the things that the singers tell me when we are coaching is it's so nice to be able to have someone to just say what I really think, be able to process my true feelings, and know that there's no judgment, know that there's no expectation, know that there's no preconceived idea about what I should be or what I am being. And having that safe space held for you, that's really part of the beauty of mindset coaching, is that it truly allows you to tap into your best self. And that's why it is peak performance for your mind, because when you get your mind in peak performance, you really are the best for yourself. And can you imagine waking up every day excited about who you are and all the possibilities of the day because you have really worked through all those limiting thoughts that have been placed on you, all the assumptions that people have stuck to you over time, and just brushing all that off and being able to run free with exactly what you have in mind and what you feel you've been given as a gift to give.
And I'm going to take that a step further. Can you imagine what it would be like to step on stage with
Yes.
that freedom and authenticity? That's what audience is responding to. You know, Judy's talking about the mindset coach's job is to help you, coach you to peak performance in your mind. And guys, if you follow my content, what am I always saying? When you change the thinking, you change the singing. Your body can't do what your brain is sabotaging. So if we're going to coach you to the best possible potential of your voice to make the biggest impact in your recordings, in your auditions, in your whatever you're doing with your voice, right? We cannot do that if you are not also in peak performance in your mind.
And that is so true. And that is part of that process. And so one of the next steps in it is really having a reflective process so that you can say, again, the things that you need to say and want to say and verbally process so that you can, in that safe space, hear it back to yourself. I'm telling you the reflective process, and you'll hear Arden say a lot of times, I'm going to mirror back to you something. And you'll hear me say that I want to reflect back, or I want to tell you what I'm hearing. Because when you hear your own thoughts in somebody else's words, it changes everything. It's so fun. That's one of the funnest things to me about coaching is as I reflect thoughts to people of what things that they have just said, they will have like these mind-blowing aha moments where they just go, now I get it. Now I know what I need to do. Now here's where I'm going. And they're just off and running and then they're set to go. And, you know, one of the best things I can think about with that is one of our singers, Jamie. She was all caught up in her head and she had all kinds of horrible past conditioning from childhood up, as many people do. But not only that, but from vocal coaches in the past, and just had a whole lot of stinking thinking going on. And it was really stopping her. And as we worked through all of that, she was able to dispel and retire all of the myths that were created in her head, all the limiting thoughts, all of the assumptions that were holding her back. And she was set free and she began to really get out there and putting herself out there. And she started booking gig after gig after gig. And then what the coolest thing was that happened is the more she had those gigs, the confidence got even higher. We kept working on each new level and what it looked like. And she just recently sang on the stage of her dreams. And that's the power.
I know who you're talking about.
I know you know.
And funnily enough, a lot of people in this community also know her because she's a big presence in this community. But, you know, part of the work that we do, guys, is maintaining that safe space and maintaining that anonymity, which is why we're not going to use her real name in here. But one of the things that I remember was we were working on a lot of mindset work with her, Judy, specifically around stepping into her value from a money standpoint of what she charges for her gigs and what income she could possibly create and what she could actually be paid. And I remember, I think we were in Mindset Caller, you might remember this better than me, where like literally what came out of her mouth was, oh, I don't think anybody would pay me that much. And she just like off the cuff. And you were like, wait a second. Can I mirror this back to you? Right. So like when somebody says something like that, like if you remember how you responded, I know how you would respond, but like, let's walk them through.
Yeah. So when she said that, it really was mirroring back to her. Okay, this is what you're thinking. Let's break that down and let's look at what the reality is. You know, what are you worth? And it really, especially when booking gigs, this is the one thing that comes up all the time that we work on in mindset is how do we own our worth to get what we are worth when we book a gig? And it's always the big question and the big assumption that you can't get what you're worth. And what is your worth anyway?
And when you mirrored back to her in that call, so I think you said something like, so wait a minute, you're telling me that nobody would pay you to sing?
Yeah.
You literally were just like, is that what you just said? Like, she heard that and she was like, oh my God, I can't believe I said that. You know, because it's like the ways in which that we don't realize that we are talking to ourselves and the thoughts that we don't realize we're carrying. She's been carrying, nobody would pay me that much to sing, even though she's trying to coach with Judy on getting $1,000 a gig. But those are completely incongruous. On the one hand, she's coming to Judy with, I want to get $1,000 a gig. And right now I'm at whatever, 500. And what's going on if Judy doesn't mirror back to her, well, wait a second, nobody would pay you that much to sing. Well, then how are you ever going to go from here to here? And so that gentle reflection and that process of being able to just be like, well, this is what your mouth just said. So then the process of reframing that, of undoing that, of shifting that is the job of the mindset coach. That is what Judy does.
And it's what I'd love to do all day, every day, is really help people dispel those myths by reflective process to help them see how sometimes they'll go, well, no, that's silly. No, that's not true. But it takes hearing it from someone else in a very non-judgmental, non-confrontational way that they go, wait a minute, what am I thinking? You know, this isn't right. This isn't right thinking. And as soon as you have that, it's over. It tends to not come back. That's the other beauty in it, is when you have those reflective moments where you get that aha moment, it becomes your new truth. And that new truth replaces the old one that used to stop you. And so then it sets you free, where that not only do you get that $1,000 gig the next time, but then you get on the stage of your dreams.
Yeah. It's really powerful stuff, guys. And I mean, you guys know me. I don't do anything without addressing the part that my thinking is playing in it. And it's why I coach you guys and I coach singers the way that I do. And so part of your job is to understand that you can't always trust what you're telling yourself. You can't always trust what's going on up here. And that's another reason why having an expert mindset coach as a singer, because we're so hard on ourselves, like we're the inner dialogue, the perfectionism, and because we are involved in a craft that we care about so much. And it's very hard to see your own stuff because we're just too close to it. And if there's a pothole there, we're going to walk right into it. If there's a wall, we're going to smash right in, because we are so good at the, call it lies that we tell ourselves. You know, it's just very hard for us to see our own junk. So the process of, as a singer, being able to have a safe place to unpack that stuff, so that when you come back into your singing practice, whether you're in a program like ours and you're working with us in studio class, or whether you're just doing your own thing, right? You now have a perspective on something that otherwise would have continued to sabotage you. And so so for example, we have a workshop coming up, and it's one of our free workshops. It's one of our Pro Singer Career Accelerator workshops. And this is where we teach you guys for free, because we really want you to understand that there's a different way to train here that gets much better results, because you're not just addressing your voice in a vacuum. Because your voice is not in a vacuum. It exists in the entirety of your instrument, and your brain is a part of that instrument. And so in our workshop coming up, we're going to be coaching you on and giving you some of our favorite tools for mindset to start helping you on that process of understanding what is possible with your voice, with your performances, when you start to train 360, when you start to train holistically, mind, body, artistry, all together. So if that's interesting to you, you can register for the Masterclass series. That's for our upcoming Pro Singer Career Accelerator Masterclass series. The last one we did, it was just amazing. So many shifts, and I want you to experience that too. So join us. Don't miss it. It's free. Don't let yourself be one of those people who complains about the fact that there's nobody out there who wants to help singers and then not take advantage when the help is being given to you, right? I will be there. Judy will be there. Our incredible coach, Annie Fitch, will be there. You've seen Annie on some of these as well. We're all there to support you. We want you to be able to know that there is a different way and give you some really good tools to be able to do that for yourself. All right, Judy, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
I'll see you guys next time.
Hey guys, if you want to attend our next free 7-day online Pro Singer Career Accelerator Masterclass series, which you absolutely should do, then click that square button in the left-hand corner down there to register, and I will see you inside.